I have the full background on this Karen. The Karenicity is unbelievable. Put up the picture. We got her name, where she works, her boss. I want to remind you of a couple of things that happened in this video. Obviously, it is telling, right? You know, she said, and I quote, "You are hurting my fetus, my unborn child." Did you all hear that part? She said that. Why did she say that? Because that bolsters her argument to do what she's attempting to do, which is theft under any other circumstance. We will call this attempted theft if the black male went up to the white female who paid for her opportunity to utilize the device and he decided to grab it and try to take it. We will call that clearly attempted theft.
Several days later.
When are you going to get an answer, sir?
We are going to get an answer when we start filing defamation lawsuits.
Wow. It's going to go to that? You
Well,
feel that
the
your
media
client's been
has
defamed?
Without question. She's been called a racist. She's been called a thief. There are reasons defamation laws exist, and we plan to pursue that.
A few moments later.
So let me contextualize this properly, okay? Naturally, we reported on the viral video as the facts were presented at that time. By the time we reported on this video, well, there was no actual statement yet from the other side. The hospital had a statement at that time, and they were troubled by what they saw as well. So were we. Now, if this is true, which confirmation is still pending, still trying to find the individuals who are part of this narrative on the other side. If it is true, it does prove, in my opinion, that Ms. Comrie had a good faith belief that she, in fact, had a right to the bike.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Guys, I gotta tell you, I gotta be honest with you. I did not think I would be making this video so soon, right? In fact, I didn't think I would be making this video in my lifetime, because Rashad Richey has now come out and given a update on the Citi Bike Karen situation, right? In which he is now trying to provide proper context to justify his previous statements on a situation in which he falsely accused this woman of being a thief. He accused her of being a racist, a Karen, his guest, a mayor from Enfield, North Carolina, which is a very small town. I've actually been to that town. I'm actually basically from that town, okay, or around that area. His guest said that she was a pregnant thug, okay? He doxed her. He probably has caused this woman all types of emotional stress, okay? The mainstream liberal media, along with people like him, have went out of their way to try to ruin this woman's life based off what we know now to be false claims that she was trying to steal a bike from 5 black teenagers, which is a claim that only people with an IQ below room temperature would believe, right? But because Rashad Richey and race hustlers appealed to those people, very stupid people, very ignorant people, people who lack common sense, who don't understand basic crime statistics, this video went viral, and again, people tried to ruin this woman's life. Now the lawyer for this woman has come out and provided receipts proving that that bike did in fact belong to her, that she purchased the rights to ride that bike home. And not only that, the lawyer is saying, hey, I'm going after people, I'm suing people for defamation, specifically people in the media, who called this woman a racist, who said she was a Karen, who accused her of stealing the bike, who again defamed this woman and ruined her life. Rashad Richey being one of those people, I'm assuming. And the reason why I'm assuming it is because he is actually coming out here and giving an update, right, on the situation. Well, why is he doing that? It's because, like I predicted, like I said, Chank Yogurt, and yes, I'm mispronouncing his name on purpose, probably had Rashad Richey come in his office and say, look, man, you got to give an update on this, right? You got to walk back some of your claims because we're about to get sued, right? We're about to lose a whole lot of money. So you better come out here and clear some of these claims up. And I want to react to it because, again, the writing is on the wall. This man knows he was in the wrong, and then he has to clean it up. And the only reason he's cleaning it up is because they're probably on a chopping block in regards to getting a big fat lawsuit. Because he's done this before in the past, but this is the first time that there's been an actual threat of lawsuit, and now all of a sudden he's issuing what appears to be a retraction, right? So without further ado, I want to react to it because, again, this is just hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. This is what the race hustlers deserve. All of them deserve to get sued. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Authorities. So let me contextualize this properly, okay?
Contextualize it properly, right? Should have did that from the start, homie. Then you wouldn't have to come out here and do this.
Naturally, we reported on a viral video as the facts were presented at that time. By the time we reported on this video, well, there was no actual statement yet from the other side. The hospital had a statement at that time, and they were troubled by what they saw as well. So were we.
Yeah, so he's saying that, look, no. We just reported on the facts at the time. See, we didn't know that the woman didn't actually steal the bike. We didn't know that the bike actually belonged to her. But yet, in your original reporting, as you can see at the beginning of this video, he accused the woman of stealing the bike with no evidence that she actually stole the bike. But you reported it as if it was facts, right? You clearly sided with the 5 black teenagers, okay, over this woman. And you framed it as if you knew for certain or that it was highly likely that she was stealing that bike with no evidence whatsoever. But, oh, no. According to Rashad Richey now that there's a chance that he's going to get sued. Oh, no. We just reported on the facts at the time. But that's not what you did, right? That's not what you did. It's amazing.
Now, if this is true, which confirmation is still pending, still trying to find the individuals who are part of this narrative on the other side.
Yeah, and you're never gonna get that, right? Again, this is panic mode desperation. If this is true, again, you're dealing with a woman, a physician's assistant who lawyer up and has provided receipts, and you think that these 5 black teenagers are gonna provide counter evidence to suggest that their side of the story is true? You're gonna be waiting a long time, right? You're gonna be waiting a long time. I wouldn't hold my breath.
If it is true, it does prove, in my opinion, that Ms. Comrie had a good faith belief that she, in fact, had a right to the bike. But that doesn't mean the young men did not. It doesn't mean they did not have a good faith belief that the bike was not hers.
Well, what? Again, see, this is the thing. A lot of these race hustlers out here are now trying to do mental gymnastics to try to justify, well, the black teenagers could have had reason to believe that it was their bike. Have you guys ever got one of these bikes? In order to activate these bikes, you have to scan it with your phone. You have to scan the QR code. There's no way that these guys believed that they had a right to that bike. There's no way they believe that. The woman clearly was on a bike, and then they went over there trying to take the bike from her. It was probably a part of an attempted robbery or prank. I don't know that for sure. I'm just speculating. I don't know. But regardless, now they're trying to make it seem like, well, they didn't do it on purpose. They probably thought the bike was theirs too. I'm just saying, the desperation here is comical. It's laughable, right? It's laughable.
Part of the story is important too. Yelling, help me, when there's a conflict over a bicycle in the middle of the street and there's a young black male next to you, that could be a very dangerous situation for something that's basically a civil dispute.
Again, I love this. I love how a lot of these people now are coming out here and saying, again, the mental gymnastics. Well, she's white, and because she's a white woman yelling, help me, when somebody is committing a crime, in this case, we don't really know, but again, hey, maybe these guys were trying to steal the bike. We really don't know, but I'm just saying, a white woman yelling, help me, because she feels like a crime is being committed against her is dangerous towards black folks. This is what they want. They want a society where, based off your skin color, it's not okay to cry for help when you actually need help. This is how silly these people have become. So now they're going along with that. Well, it's dangerous when white women cry for help around black men. That's dangerous. I mean, you can't do that as a white woman, even if a crime is actually being committed against you. If somebody's stabbing you to death, you can't yell for help and say that you're hurting and that you're being stabbed to death. That's harmful to the person stabbing you, right? That's, again, it's silly at this point. These people are silly. They're not serious people.
So while I will absolutely continue to update the story as the facts prevail, I will say there's a wisdom to being civil in all cases.
You weren't civil. You weren't civil when you were covering it. You weren't civil when you were doxing her, essentially calling her racist, saying that she's a Karen, when your guest called her a pregnant thug, talking about how she's a dangerous person. That's not civil, right? You weren't being civil, right? You weren't being level-headed. You were basically encouraging violence against a woman. Again, it's amazing how that works. Be civil while random black teenagers try to take a bike from you that you know you just paid from. You need to be civil, right? But in response to a viral video, this guy is not being civil. This guy is being as uncivil as he can. Again, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
To those who have been, let's say, threatening to this young lady, I would never condone that under no circumstance.
Right. You should have said that. You should have said that in your first video. Again, where was this when you were doxing this woman? Oh, we got her name. We got her boss's name too. Right? We got all that. We got all this information. This dude does that so often. And it came back to bite him in the ass. Now all of a sudden he has to come out here and to try to rein in the mob. The mob that he incited to basically issue threats of violence against this woman. Amazing.
At all. Physical violence is not your answer whatsoever. Any gains you make because of physical violence are not sustainable. Only the gains you make through righteous actions are. To the young men who are involved in this now very national narrative, according to the last report, they cannot be identified.
I wonder why. I wonder why they can't be identified. Maybe because they don't want to be identified, right? For some black kids who could gain a lot out of this, by the way. Imagine how much can these kids gain if they came out here and identified themselves and say, hey, we have the receipts. We paid for this bike. This woman's lying. Her lawyer's lying. Imagine a rallying cry behind these kids if they was to do that. They have nothing to hide if they're telling the truth. If the bike actually belonged to them, or maybe, just maybe, they know that the bike did not belong to them. It was not just some mix-up, right? They were trying to steal the bike, right? I'm just saying. Who knows? But it's funny how they can't be identified. All of a sudden, they went ghost, right? They went ghost on you. So now race hustlers like Rashad Richey, come on, man. Y'all got to come out, man. Please identify yourself. Please come out, guys. I mean, look, I'm about to get sued. I'm looking real bad right now. I need y'all to come out of hiding. Help a brother out, right? Help a brother out. Black people, we supposed to stick together on this. This white woman and her lawyer about to sue me. I love this timeline, bruh.
Naturally, we know somebody knows who they are, and they know who they are.
Yeah, and they're not going to come out. They're not going to reveal themselves.
If you feel as if it is necessary in order to place your side on the table, and you are authentic about your belief that this was your bike, speak up. And to the company, well, listen, at some point, naturally, you got to provide the goods. The attorney is going on national news. He's saying that these confirmations are there. News outlets are reaching out. We do expect a full update as far as what actually transpired. And lastly, as I said before, her good faith belief does not negate their good faith belief that they were in the right too.
Yeah, but you don't know if they had a good faith belief. See, it's crazy how that works. The initial video, he didn't give a damn about whether or not the woman had a good faith belief. Okay, that scooter was hers. It's just hilarious how now all the evidence comes out to suggest that, yeah, she did have a good faith belief. Now all of a sudden, he wants us to say, well, wait, before you go after the young boys, right? Before you start going after them and questioning their motives and what they were actually doing, just understand that they may have had a good faith belief to believe it was theirs too. Be civil about this, right? Don't just jump to conclusions about these young kids and what they were doing. Again, the woman didn't get the benefit of the doubt in the initial video about what she was doing. Y'all just accused her of stealing. Even though all logic, right, and common sense tells you that, nah, that's probably not what was happening here. You have a pregnant woman, a PA who has no reason, whatsoever to steal a bike from young black kids. You guys believed that story and you ran with it. You didn't give her the benefit of the doubt that she might have had a good faith belief to believe that that bike was hers. But now they want us to give these kids the benefit of the doubt that they've had a good faith belief that they own that bike. And these kids, as of this making of this video, ghost, right? They're ghosts. You can't find these people. They're not going to provide any receipts because they don't have any.
All right, Wise, thoughts here.
You know, this is a story that's near and dear to me as a native New Yorker. I try to tell people that there's a level of discernment that kind of comes with being a New Yorker, right? You are interacting and dealing with so many people every single day. You need to learn who's who and what's what. I think that's why there was such a viral nature of the Jordan Neely situation on the train, where that young man was killed for basically no reason.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not responding to this. This dude's a nobody. He talking about Jordan Neely. Jordan Neely ain't got nothing to do with this, right? I mean, yeah, they're panicking. There's no doubt in my mind that Chink Yogurt went to Rashad Richey and was like, bruh, you gotta pull back on this, right? We about to get sued, okay? You about to cost us a whole lot of money for this. But again, Rashad Richey has a habit of doing this, okay? And it finally caught up with him. It finally caught up with him to the point where he was forced to put out this video. Amazing. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.